Hey Yo-Yo Gang, welcome back. It's your girl Erica Yolanda. If you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like, leave me a comment, hit that bell notification so that you are notified every time I post a new video. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. You guys, we have made it. We're halfway through. Let's get it. I have been missing in action for 2 days, but it's okay because I'm back now. Your girl has been tired, y'all. I am exhausted. Just with everything in life, from working long hours to, this homeschool and everything. So your girl has been tired. But I heard y'all. Thank you guys for all the emails, the feedback. I appreciate you guys. I hear you. I love you. And I thank you. So with that being said, today's video is starting over. We've all done it, and if you hadn't done it, good for you. But I've started over in life a couple of times. And by starting over, I mean whether it's from a job, I've been on a job. I spent 10 years with Marriott. And then I went over to Hilton. Gave Hilton a lot more years. Then I went back to school and became a nurse. And I still dibbled and dabbled between nursing and working at Hilton. I've been divorced, starting over. I've dated, started over. Been engaged, started over. So your girl, we're going to talk about starting over today. And if y'all like me, I used to have a fear of starting over. I used to come complacent with where I was and, just like, this is what it is. Not to beat a dead horse, but my first husband and I were together since I was 15, he was 16. So, we got married after school and everything. So that was the biggest start over, but it wasn't a bad thing because starting over can be good. My husband and I now have been together 12 years. And we're in it for the long haul. So, we've had to, we started out with one house and then we ended up buying another house. And I hate moving. Though our house is in the same place, we just bought a new one and put in the same spot. It still was starting over. So, I don't like starting over, but starting over can be good. And my message for this, I'm not going to make a long video. I just want you guys to know that starting over is okay. Don't be afraid of what might happen. Don't be afraid of what could happen. If you're in a point that you need to start over, y'all, after my divorce, dating was so scary for me. I told y'all, I don't like to date. If I date somebody, it's usually somebody I know through somebody I'm, familiar with something, because, people be stalking and killing people. I used to never let guys know where I lived. I would drive and meet them somewhere, park my car and make sure I wasn't being followed. It was crazy. I once dated a guy. For some reason, after my divorce, I was into older guys. I liked older guys for whatever reason. My husband now are some years apart, but you can't tell. But I was dating this guy and I was like, oh my gosh. Every time I dated, I was like, oh, he's going to be the one, because I like being married. I like being committed. I don't want to be out there dating people. I want to be in one relationship. So I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's perfect. He's got a good job. He's put together. He's not with the foolishness. Y'all, this man once told me how his wife had died. He was a widower. And, he described to me how he had to bury her and how it was the hardest thing he ever had to do in life. Just gave me this sob story, and I just felt so bad. Like, oh my gosh, me and this guy are meant to be together. He's had a broken heart. I've had a broken heart. Y'all, while this man turned out to be lying and the wife that he buried was yet still alive, and me being me feel so bad because I had been cheated on. So I felt horrible. I'm like, you know what? I did something out of character. I was young. I was like 24, 25. I found his wife number. I called her and I apologized. I said, I'm sorry. I have been dating your husband. I didn't know that he was married. And once I found out he was married, I feel like I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. This woman told me that her husband would never date the likes of me. And that was that. She didn't believe me. She struck a nerve. You don't know me. I'm just trying to apologize. I said, okay, ma'am, I'm going to continue to date your husband. And every time he buys me something, I'll make sure that he buys you something too. Because I'm sure you noticed that your car always smells like white diamonds, because that's my favorite perfume. And old stupid me continued to date this man. Continued to let him sell me this dream. This man was trying to buy me a house, trying to buy me a car. Just always gave me money, everything. However, I started playing him. Like, okay, since you married, and I only see you, he lived out of state, so I only see you on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and then you go on back home Sunday mornings. I got to find me something to do. So I had another guy that I was dating, which I only dated him on Wednesdays. And by date, it was just Wednesdays. I liked him, but he was somebody that I went to school with's father. So I knew that nothing could ever come about that, because, you know, you're old enough to be my daddy. But I really liked this guy. He was cool. He was cool to hang with, but he was a little possessive too. But again, I only dealt with him on Wednesdays. Like, I used to call myself Girl Wednesday, because I only dealt with him on Wednesdays. And that was my choice. Y'all, I was young. I did some stupid things when I was young. However, hurt people. That's real. But long story short, I ended up just going through something, like this epiphany, and I felt like I needed to change. I needed to relocate. I quit my job. I had a stalker. Like who does that? I had a stalker on my job. You know, I'm already crumbling on the inside, because I know I'm wrong for dating this married man who I really, you know, mistakenly fell in love and got sold some dreams. But, you know, I digress. So I finally broke free of that situation and ended up just picking up and leaving where I live. Just picking up and just leaving, just starting over, just starting fresh. And I went to one of my, I call her my sister. Because y'all, the kind of friends that I have, if I consider you a friend, you're my sister. I went with my sister. Fifi, if you ever see this video, know that I love you. I had started over, started working again, started from scratch, had to end up getting another car, a new life, and I found love again. Wrong. Never fall in love with your best friend. We were best friends. We should have never crossed that bridge into a relationship. We have no hard feelings to this day. We still, if we was to see each other, which we don't, we live in different states, we would still have nothing but respect for each other. We left with respect. But he didn't love himself enough to be loved. He was a great guy, didn't cheat, didn't have anything, worked hard, you know, everything. We were great together. We were too great for each other. It didn't work out. I ended up meeting my husband. A long drunken story. I used to drink. One Saturday night, y'all, I got completely wasted. As I must say so myself, shit-faced wasted. And it was a Saturday night. So the only place to get a drink from on a Sunday was in the mall, at a restaurant in the mall. So I remember going to the mall, trying to fix my hangover by getting another drink. And I propped myself up against the wall, and I just saw this guy walking across the mall, and I was like, gosh, this guy is beautiful. Like, beautiful, green eyes, just gorgeous little man. And I'm thinking to myself, at this point, you know, all men are dogs. So I'm like, old dirty dog, probably married. He walked right up to me. We've been together for 12 years. We have a child together. We have a life together. We build together. We build each other together. So starting over is not always a bad thing. Starting over can be good. Don't be afraid to start over. Step out on faith. Tell God what you want, and He'll give you what you need. I come from two parents. My parents are still together. They both like 110 years old, but they're still together. I've always seen my parents together. I knew right from wrong. I had no right messing with a married man. I had no right messing with somebody that didn't love themselves. I did everything that I knew better than. But we have to make our own mistakes in life. And I made some. I don't regret it, because everything that I went through is a story. It led to this point. I have an incredible life. I'm thankful for my life. Sometimes I'm so scared that my life is in such a good place that I worry. But then I also have to tell myself, look where God brought you from. Look at what you've been through. You don't think you deserve to be this happy? Y'all, it's like I got love all over me. I really do. If I can say that I've never been loved, I'm loved now. That man inside that house that I'm getting ready to walk into loves me. And you too deserve love. If you're looking for love, if you're doubting love, if you wonder if love will ever happen, it will. I went 4 years without love. 4 years without love. And hell, if I count the times, the 2 years that I was actually married to somebody that I know didn't love me, I went 6 years without love. But God put the right people in your life. I've seen my father. I have the best father in the world. I've seen my father. I know what a man's supposed to treat a woman like. I know what a man's supposed to be like. And I found that God blessed me with a man that reminds me so much of my father. My daughter loves him just like I love my daddy. That's her superhero, real life superhero. So my message to you guys, don't be afraid to start over. Sometimes it may seem like a bad thing that you're starting over, but step out on faith, tell God what you want, and He'll give you what you need. Be realistic though, and you got to meet Him halfway. With that being said, don't forget to like this video, or give me a thumbs down, or whatever you think. Comment, tell me what you want me to talk about next, because this video was just talking about starting over. It just came to my heart, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it. It's okay to start over. I started over like 4 or 5 times. I don't know what the future holds, but right now, I'm in a very good place. I'm not in a place of darkness, even if the lighting is bad in my car. I just got back home. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Alright, yo gang. It's been real. Now I'm going on in the house. Y'all be good.